Hello, everybody, and welcome to ProblemSolvHer podcast. I'm your co-host, Chloe, along with my girl,
Dagmar.
Daggie's in the house. Chloe's in the house. Daggy, I don't know about you, but some days when I wake up extremely exhausted, which is often these days, when you have pets or children, you have to get up early. You have no choice. I'm running on like empty fuel right now. I went to sleep at 12:45 and I woke up at 7:10, and I've just been like, those days where you don't get to eat, you forget to go to the bathroom. You're like, wait, I need more coffee. And you just so it's been like that for me today. How about you?
I'm working through the night lately, and that's perfect for me because my cats like to be active in the night. And then at 8 o'clock, Snow White decides, okay, rub my forehead because, my upper respiratory infection doesn't let me sleep. So it really feels good when you rub my forehead. So I'm rubbing her forehead. And there's no way how I get up early. So I normally don't get up.
But you're a night owl. You love me. Sometimes you text me really late when I'm sleeping and dreaming about Brad Pitt.
Yeah, yeah. I like
in my dreams, literally.
I like the night because then it's
right.
And the cats
There's no outside noises.
No outside noises, no really alerts and nothing. So, and then I can fully focus and I love it.
That's awesome. Yeah. Some people are night owls. They like to, my old boss was like that. I would get emails from him and texts. And this is my phone has been on silent since then. I'm going back like 8-10 years, 3-4 in the morning. And he would, because he was a writer and, a multitude of other things. But I would then call him or respond at like 8:45, 9. Sometimes I wouldn't get a response till noon because when you don't go to sleep till 4 or 5 in the morning, you're not then up in 4 hours later. So everyone has different clocks. But I really love this series that we started. And I'd like for you to tell us a little more about what we're going to discuss today.
So today we were starting the series with the fear of being seen at work. And I think that's really crucial because at work, most of us, we don't have the feeling that we want to be seen truly who we are because we want to present somebody we know is expected or is needed for the job. So the vulnerability, or like what you said, on some days, how we really feel about ourselves, we don't want that anybody sees it. But on the other side, when we do a great job, when we finish an awesome project, we want to be seen. So I think the fear of being seen at work challenges us a lot because compared to in our private life where they really know us, it's a fine balance between shining but not uncovering everything. Does it make sense?
Absolutely. Especially if you're starting a new job and it's a big position, let's say. It's, you have your own office and people are reporting to you and you didn't know anyone in this company. Someone didn't help you get this job. It wasn't a friend of a friend. It wasn't a referral. And you go into an organization, you're going to be insecure. You're going to have that fear. And in the beginning, you will be a people pleaser because you want to form good relationships. You don't want people to think and people do this. I've had this in jobs where like someone in a managerial position or a senior position comes in like guns blazing and they tell you like, this is who I am. This is how it's going to be done. I don't care if you like me. Let's get going. All we do is we work, we sleep, and we repeat. Nobody takes a full lunch here. No one leaves this office. You will eat at your desk, and you're like, whoa. And then other people kind of come in and they want to form the banter and the relationships because they do want to be seen in a good light and they want to have a good working relationship with their colleagues. And it's interesting because growing up in commercial real estate, anyone I ever worked with or had as a client, or my dad's really good friend who I won't name, who's one of the top developers of Manhattan and has been for years. I worked for him for a while. I mean, I'll never, ever forget, he would come into the office at 7:45 in the morning and we were all in our 20s enjoying Manhattan. We would get invited to all these beautiful parties and we would stay out till 12, 1 a.m. on a Thursday night. No one's there before 9:30 on a Friday. It's just never even heard of. And he would come to the office and he would go on the loudspeaker as people started walking in and go, we sleep when we're dead. We sleep when we're dead. Like, get to work. It's like, Dad, we're in our 20s. We were like, we're just rocking and rolling. We don't even know anything about life yet. So everyone has a different mentality of how they want to be seen in the workplace. And I think it's up to the individual how you want to portray yourself, and how much do the outside noise, right? We just talked about the outside. How much does that influence you? And what's more important, being seen by colleagues or people that are a team under you? Or is it doing the work and just putting your head down and executing? Does any of that resonate with you or make sense?
Yeah, so it goes more in the direction, how do I want to show value? When I think of being seen, the fear of being seen in the workplace, for me, it comes a lot with the fear of being judged and the fear of being criticized or the fear of being manipulated, right? When somebody sees your weaknesses. A lot of times when I had jobs and I felt safe there, and I felt people cared, my bosses cared, and it was more a team environment. It was much less the fear of being seen. But when it was very aggressive, or like in our last job, the one we had together, the fear of being seen was truly connect with me of being shut up. Like if you really showed your work personality and it was not really wanted, like what you said, it was just all about production, produce, really not make suggestions or what can we improve, what can be done better. And that for sure increases the fear of being seen when you don't feel appreciated and when you don't feel respected.
Absolutely. That's why neither of us work in the corporate world anymore. I worked in the corporate in New York for so many years, whether it was in my dad's company, doing events, strategic partnerships. When I moved to Florida, I was like, I'm not doing that again. I don't want to be in the corporate world. This is Florida. This reminding me so much of growing up in Jamaica, kind of the tropic lifestyle. And then when I went into a corporate role again, I was like, woo, I'm doing this again. And it's everything that reminded me of why I didn't want to be in it for all the reasons that you just said. The fear of being judged, people taking advantage of you, people seeing what your strengths are, wanting to use them so that they can further themselves and, close more deals and do bigger projects. And just like that, I like a camaraderie of people in the workforce where everyone has each other's back. And I had that with you and with some other people. And then there were what we call bad actors, and they're in every job, and people that are just bringing other people down, or, there's a lot of big CEOs. I'm talking in the Fortune 500 companies, and they all say this in their TED Talks, every single one. I don't care if you're bringing in millions for my company. If your energy and your vibes is bad for the entire group and my organization, I don't want you in it, because people realize that someone might be making you money, but they're not bringing the right aura and energy to a group of people that could create more money if everyone was simpatico. And I think that's a really big point that these CEOs make. They're in the power positions, they can do that. So, in terms of being seen in the workplace, especially if you're in a sales driven job, it's like everyone's a shark, everyone's out to get someone. And it's like, I have to get this done first. No, it has to be me. No, I have to have bigger numbers this month. Oh, no, that was my lead. No, I take this. No, it was mine, mine, mine. And then the fear of it doesn't even become any more actually being seen. It's more or less who can stab the other person in the back faster. And I know that sounds a little harsh, but that is how I'm talking about in general, the corporate world works. And I think that a lot of people since COVID have really pulled away from corporate because of all those things and the fear of being seen and judged in the workplace and the cattiness and the arguments that go on, and someone, stealing projects from other people right under their thumb and taking, credit for things. And it becomes exhausting. And then you're like, I can't even do my work. I can't even focus because all these outside things are happening. And now the fear becomes, is this person going to take my job? Are they going to take over my next project? Does my boss like this person more than me now? Do I have to do certain things to try to get ahead? I just took a nap thinking about it. It's too much. It's too much, right?
Yeah. So what's the solution? What did help you in the past when you had this fear of being seen at the workplace? where you felt you couldn't be yourself?
Well, I called you, and that's how you and I started to become really close because you had already been in this organization for many years. So you had so much more knowledge and information and background, and you were such a key piece of the puzzle of the company. And I was totally fresh and new to it. And it was hard. It was very difficult at times. And it wasn't, and you know me, and anyone that knows me knows I don't really care what people think about me. I really don't. I've got to that place in my life some years ago. It's more when people are prejudging me or they think they know me and they have no idea who I am. And they're just assuming because I'm loud and I have a big personality that I'm someone I'm not. And so that fear becomes I'm not who you're saying I am. You don't even know me. You've only known me for 4 months and you're telling me who I am. I'm inside this body. I know exactly who I am. So that becomes difficult. And that's where I would, call you and you would call me and we would bounce ideas off of each other. And, we had similar fears. And I think that's what helped bring us closer together. So in that regard, I'm happy for that experience because it led us to this, where we are right now. What about you?
For me, in that situation, the fear of being seen, what helped me to disconnect myself emotionally from the fear and then make conscious decisions. First, what's my goal? What do I want to accomplish? And how do I get there? And what does it take to get there? And that helped me to change my focus from the fear of being truly seen to really super focus on what do I want to accomplish. And like when we had meetings, and I knew it was not really wanted that anybody would ask questions. Sometimes I still did. And then as a response, you get another question. What is it?
Right.
And then you didn't get an answer anyway, but it made you feel inside just bad about yourself.
Right. You're getting
And
negative feedback.
you felt like vulnerable, right? You cared about the business and you wanted good for the business and you wanted to give your part so the business could do better. And it was hard to overcome that. But as soon as I could disconnect myself emotionally from it, not only helped me to move forward, but also it improved my health. Because with the fear of being seen, you always hold something under pressure, right? So it makes you being very tense and you're always in the fight or flight or freeze mode. And by letting go of the focus of the fear and instead choosing what you want to accomplish and how you can accomplish it, that froze me up.
I can totally relate. I remember you would say to me consistently to take the emotion out of it. And it's really in life, period, right? The power of Kabbalah talks about it, the secret, the power of now, where if people found a way, and it's so hard, right? Because the emotional side of it is your feelings are getting hurt, the fear of being seen, people judging you in the wrong light, all these other things. And if people just focus strictly on business, right? And that's why by the way, a lot of corporations don't allow people to date. You sign contracts that say, no, we don't allow any dating in this organization because what happens is it's just like people becoming good friends or they think they can work together and then they can't. Then you get in a relationship with someone, then they don't talk anymore, then it's awkward in meetings and it creates this whole energy and this whole vibe. So if people just strictly did business in any corporate job and they didn't have any emotions tied, like I had a friend in when I ran the nonprofit in New York who was working with us just on the events when we would do our annual gala. And I was friends with her. And I'm like, people think you're a little cold. She's like, Chloe, I'm here to work. I'm not here to make any friends. I don't care about any of these people. I only care about business and I only care about doing this for a nonprofit because I love to give to others. I'm not here to be friends with this one, go out with that one on a Thursday night. Maybe this guy's flirting with me. She's like, you're my friend and that's it. I don't need to, hi and bye. That's it. I'm not texting people at night. I'm not forming relationships. And I'm like, you know what? It's too late for me because I've been running this organization for years and I'm so embedded with everybody here and the family and everything. A lot of people have that mentality because they don't want to get involved in the weeds and the minutiae of all these things. They want to go to work. They want to do their job. They want to be friendly. They want to say hi to people. How was the weather this weekend? Did you go to the beach? Beep, bop, boop. Did you go to a wedding? Great. See you later. Bye. So what is your position on people becoming friends in the workplace or dating in the workplace?
I only have good experience with that. And I think it helped me to first be a little bit colder, a bit more reserved, experience more how the person is, not just from a business answer perspective, but also how does this person react to discussions, right? Or another opinion, or when you had an emergency, did they offer to help you? So things like that. And for me, trusting somebody and really telling them what I really think comes much, much later, never comes at the beginning. And that just helped me to establish like more deeper relationships, but for sure more fewer relationships, right? I'm not friend with everybody.
Mm. I think that as we get older and we mature and we realize what we want in our personal lives, whether it's friendships or with family or with dating, husband, boyfriend, whatever you want to call it, we have a smaller threshold for taking shit from people. It's just the best way I can describe it. And I'm like you, but well, hold on. If I form a connection with somebody, it's usually really fast, whether it's dating or someone who becomes my friend. I'm not someone who like over time, like, oh, I've known this girl for like 3 years now. We kind of just became good friends. I'm off the gate. I'm either good friend. I'm a Taurus. We're either ride or die within like knowing each other for a month or a month. Same with dating. Like everyone's, oh, give him a chance. Remember the British guy? Give him a chance. He's not your type at all, but give him a chance. Water it. It's like a flower. Let it sprout. Sorry, he might be
Or the
listening to this.
French guy.
He does. He does listen to the podcast. Or the French guy. Yeah, but the French guy is, I just saw him the other day. He's so freaking good looking and he's tall and he's hot. And he saw me walking. This is amazing. He saw me walking with my neighbor's boyfriend the other day. My neighbor's boyfriend is gorgeous. And he's even taller than him and even better looking than him. Beautiful head of brown hair. He's got this really cool, like little mustache. He's trying the mustache thing. And he's buff. And we were walking the dogs out. And he looked and he goes, hi, like looking at me like he thought he was with me and I was dating him. And he was like, and I was like, hey, what's going on, John? I loved that. I had no fear in that moment. There was no fear at all being seen. I was like, please see me right now. That was really funny. Some people are like that. Like people have to grow on you and they take their time. I'm off the jump. The second I met you, I'm like, yep, she's my girl. Plus, you're the same birthday as my mom. Hello. And I know Gemini's personalities very well. My dad's a Gemini too. Lisa, my friend, my really good friend Lisa's a Gemini too. We gravitate toward people that are not very judgy of their friendships, of the people around them. They're not constantly complaining. They're a good shoulder to lean on. They're people that you can trust. I don't have any fears with them because I don't think they're judging me at all. And I think that that should be the same in the workplace. So when you go into a job, you shouldn't have to fear being seen by your superiors, or maybe it's people that work underneath you that are jealous of you, that are trying to take over your job, or people that are have an equal title that you do, and they're just so jealous of you. You know, in this past job, there was someone who was so jealous of me, and he was so inappropriate on every level and so unprofessional because he feared that a female was better at him. And that really is all that it came down to. So, my takeaway of the fear of being seen in a job is just be yourself. Don't let anyone steal your thunder. You go after that project if you want it. Don't worry if someone else, if you're worried that you're going to step on any toes, but always be respectful, always be truthful in your job, and just work your ass off, but not in a way where you're getting taken advantage of. But work hard if you love what you do.
My takeaway is similar to what you said. When you experience the fear, don't let the fear hinder you to do a good job and to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Work on disconnecting yourself from the emotion and instead focus on what it takes to accomplish what you want to accomplish. And by this energy shift, it doesn't feed the fear anymore. And over time, you feel it less coming up and more putting your energy in what brings you forward.
I mean, see, you say it so much more analytical than I do, and it sounds more organized. But mine are just like mine's like a run-on sentence, just free flowing, and then you say it, and it's the same thing that I said, but it sounds so much better when you said it. Yeah, you come from the analytical side. I come from the emotional side, and we are here to share our stories and our experiences, and hopefully it resonates with people, men, women, people of all different backgrounds and types, and share this with your grandmother or cousin or somebody that you feel, you know what, they need to hear this episode. And we hear you and we love you. And you can find us on problemsolver.com. No E on solve, it's a play in words. Problem Solver on Instagram, the Chutzpah Girl on TikTok. We're everywhere you guys are. We're on the YouTube. We are on Spotify, and we are on Apple Podcasts. Thank you, everybody. I said that in one
Thank
breath.
you.
Have a
Beautiful.
great week,
Ciao.
everyone. Ciao for now.
Just a quick note before we end. This conversation is for inspiration and empowerment only. It's not medical, mental health, or legal advice. We are not doctors, therapists, or lawyers. Just women sharing real stories and personal truth. Always seek professional guidance for your unique situation.